Hello, viewer. Yes, you. I'd like to ask you to subscribe, because with every subscription, we get closer to proving to authorities that I am a fit parent, and I could get a chance to one day see my kids again. Please subscribe. What's going on, guys? My name is Orphan. How are you all today? Feels like I haven't recorded in forever. As you can see in the title, we are here to talk about censorship today. And what is censorship, you may ask? Well, censorship is when you see something you don't like and you say no. Now specifically, we are going to be talking about Devil May Cry 5 and the recent censorship going on with that game, Sony, and Sony's newfound approach to taking it upon themselves to censor content for their fans. Now let me start off by saying Devil May Cry 5 is a fantastic game. That doesn't have anything to do with this though. This specific instance has a scene where Dante is carrying Trish. You could see but in the Western release of the game with the patch, there is a huge lens flare over the area where Trish's butt would be. In another instance, another character, Lady, the same thing happens. She stands up, she takes a robe off, and the camera's behind her. You just see a massive lens flare, obviously blocking your eyes from the goods. Now, this issue has been going on for about, I'd say, the better part of a year and a half now, with Sony taking it upon themselves to censor games. Now, they mostly target the heavily lewd Japanese games, the light novel ones, where essentially the whole game is centered around being extremely lewd and busty, if you will. But they've dabbled here and there with a few bigger games, like this one we're talking about now, Devil May Cry 5. And the worry is that they will transition that over into the Western audience. Another big game coming up that a lot of people are worried about is Cyberpunk 2077. Yes, Sony is trying to take boobs away from us. And my roommate asked me the other day, how do I feel about Cyberpunk potentially being censored? And initially I kind of just shrugged it off. I was like, it wouldn't bother me too much. You know, virtual boobs are nice, but the game looks good enough, I could get past that. But now that I'm thinking about it, it's in the title, guys. How far is too far when it comes down to censorship and dictating what content an individual should or shouldn't indulge in? Now, Sony's role in censorship, where do they come into this? As you know, if you play video games, we have an ESRB rating board. Now, they look at these games, they play them, and they determine what audience these games are suitable for. You have E for everyone, you have T for teen, you have M for mature, and a very few select games getting that A for adult rating. Now, these ratings have an age bracket. Now, you need to be a certain age to play these games. T for teen is 13, M is 17. Now, when you look at censorship, the first thing that comes to your mind is probably Sony's trying to protect kids who play these games. Well, Mr. Sir, these games are usually rated M. That means kids shouldn't be playing them in the first place. And if their parents are going to buy the game for them, then the parents need to be informed on what kind of games they're buying their kids. So Sony's job isn't really to censor this content, it's the parents' job to make sure that a younger audience isn't playing it. Now, I don't know how you guys feel about this, but personally, I don't believe it's Sony's job to take it in their hands to decide what content consumers should or shouldn't indulge in. You know, you have the platform, these are the games that are available, and people should be able to play what they like with the artistic vision that the developers had in mind. I don't really think it's your place to tell us what should and shouldn't be allowed in these games. Now, with your games, that's fine, but with other games, especially the third-party ones, I think that's going a tad bit too far. Now, again, I asked a general question, how far is too far? Again, when it comes to these issues where you are governing someone else's content, you know, what's the breaking point? When do you have to stop and say, you know, that's not up for me to decide? Again, that's why things like ESRB rating boards are here in the first place. What also doesn't make sense is there's usually one side of the censoring So in a game, there will be multiple things that are extremely outlandish or air quote worth censoring, but they'll pick one, and it's usually the lesser of two evils. So in a game where you can decapitate people and see their eyeballs in all its 4K glory, you're gonna choose to censor a nipple over the fact that a man's head is being ripped off? Questionable. Again, it just doesn't make sense in most cases, and you have to wonder if there's some sort of underlying agenda, because again, why would you choose to just go for something that simple in comparison to everything being displayed? I just don't get it in most cases. If you're gonna censor one thing, you might as well censor it all. And at that point, just censor the whole fucking game. Again, if these audiences are of age and are able to play this game, then why can't they get all of the content that the developer put out and envisioned for them to play? Don't treat us like kids, Sony. I have the right to see boobies. No, but in all seriousness, what's your guys' take on this? How do you feel about censorship as a whole? How do you feel about censorship in this specific instance when it comes to media like video games? Let me know what you think. Drop a comment. I look forward to your engagement. So thank you guys so much for watching the video. As always, you guys have a good one, and until next time.